So I thought that it would be interesting to, instead of me just telling you about how I use Vevox, I figured it would be more useful to show you. And this is one of the things that I think Vevox is really good for over some of the other technologies like the clicker remotes that were just discussed, or the voting cards that are quite popular in astronomy education. Things like that are great, but they are somewhat limited in that they are usually multiple choice or enter a number. Whereas Vevox has this word cloud tool. And so here's sort of an example of one thing I might use it is when we start discussing a topic in class, I can throw out to the students and say, okay, we're going to start talking about friction. If we have two objects rubbing together, what are the possible quantities that the amount of friction between those two objects might depend on? And I can do exactly what we're doing right now. I can throw it out to the class and we can generate sort of a discussion here, a brainstorm in real time to sort of get a sense of where folks are at. And this is, frankly, for me, the biggest seller for Vevox, at least for my class. This is something that it does that other platforms don't do very well. And I do like to use it for this. I also use it for asking about curiosity. Reflecting on learning at the end of the semester is another really good, thing you can use this word cloud tool for. All that sort of stuff. So we'll give it another second for folks to get some responses in. And so now you can see we have this word cloud and we've done some brainstorming because I know we're dealing with a bunch of faculty here. The answers are actually roughness, you can see has come up. Type of materials also relevant. Material, maybe all of those are sort of the same. However, most of these other things don't actually matter. And so now we've created a need to know within the students, right? It's like, okay, they've brainstormed and they've come up with mass, shape, velocity, weight, temperature. Most of those things don't actually matter. And so now people are interested, right? They're intrigued. Some of the literature calls a need to know has been instilled in the students, which can then really help engage as we go forward. So at least to me, this is the one thing that I still really use Vevox for, is when I have a question type where I want to facilitate brainstorming as a class, this is great. This is one of those tools that works better the bigger the class you have. Most of my classes are quite large. 100 for me is rather small. Most of my classes are 300. And the more people you have, the wider variety of responses you get. So any tool that works better at scale is always something that excites me. This is one of, I think, the biggest and most unique tools and resources that Vevox provides over some other ones that I've played with.